Okay folks, Hardwood Hollow Bushcraft here. This will be a short video, just a quick loadout and a gear review of the Condor fuel hydration pack, and the loadout is going to be on my short hike, which I consider pretty much anything less than 10 miles. Over 10 miles I'm going to carry a larger pack with more gear, including gear which will sustain me overnight. So here we go. Let me reset the video and we'll go from there. Okay folks, Hardwood Hollow Bushcraft here, doing an inside video. It's 90 plus degrees and very humid out, so I'm going to do it inside where it's air conditioned. This is going to be a quick loadout video of my short hike and the stuff I have in it here. This will also be a review. Alright, there's other videos of the fuel online, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on it. You can go to YouTube, type in Condor fuel, and you'll get a bunch of reviews. What I will say is it's about I believe it's 17 inches high. All the pockets this way I think is 7, and it contains your hydration bladder pocket in the back. The bladder's not in at the moment, but I'll be discussing that and what I have found I like or don't like about it. Okay, so let's go from there. We'll start with the loadout. Now what I will say, first and foremost, this is my Gore-Tex unlined rain jacket. It's just a liner. I won't normally take this unless I'm out there and there's a forecast of rain, although sometimes I will add it just because it can be stretched out by the use of paracord if I'm not wearing it, and used as a shelter top. So that is take it or don't take it depending on the situation. On the outside of the pack I've got my mil-spec boonie hat attached with an S-beaner, and this is a reflective strip that I hang from the outside of my pack to make me more visible if I need it. Also on the outside of the pack I've got, this is actually my old phone. It's not my normal phone that I carry. I carry a Sonim Armor phone. The reason I'm carrying this old phone with me is it's a Casio G-Zone Rock, and it has a number of features in it that I like, including it has an electronic compass in it. It also has a built-in pedometer, which I like. When I'm carrying it, I can read it's got a clock on it that I can keep track of, but it tells me my steps and my mileage. It also tells me moon phase, as well as temperature. So there's a lot of neat features in it. Plus it has an MP3 player, so should I want some tunes, although I don't normally listen to music while I'm out in the woods, but say I take a break for lunch or something and I want some tunes, I can certainly play them off of here. It's got a couple of built-in very loud speakers, as well as having the ability, of course, for headphones. And worst case scenario, if I can get a signal off this phone, since it runs on a different network than my other phone, worst case scenario, even though it's not connected, it will still allow me to dial 911. That's snapped on the outside of the pack here, and even though it's snapped here instead of on my belt, it does correctly and properly read my steps. Also on the outside of the pack, this is a 2-cup measuring cup, stainless steel. I have boiled water in this before. It's not big, but it gets the job done if I need to. Plus I can make teas or cook small things. If I I have to kill game or something, I can cook it up in here. And it just slips into the molly very comfortably, and I use this little carabiner to clip on it. Additionally, if I need to, I can clip something metal down here and it'll make a nice little rattling sound with whatever is hitting it when I'm walking in the woods. If I'm run into an issue with bears, which I have seen bears out there on the trails where I hike, which is in the George Washington National Forest. What you just saw actually too, going along with the measuring cup, is the CRKT Eaton tool. This was a gift. I really like it, and so I carry it on my pouch. In fact, I carry it on the tape right there that has my blood type, which also has the key clip on it. So I hook it through there, snap that on, and I'm good to go. Also on the outside in this Browning pouch, I have a multi-tool. This one happens to be a Kershaw. What I like about this, it has a blade accessible from the outside, and it's locking blade, one-handed opening. Additional tools that are on it. It does have a locking needle nose plier, and then you have a few tools. It's got a hacksaw, it's got a metal file, 2 different grits, can opener, and a Phillips head screwdriver. So a few good tools on it, as well as, of course, the pliers and the knife. Oh, and a flat screwdriver. So I just lock that shut. I carry it in this pouch, but I carry it with the blunt side down so it doesn't poke a hole in the bottom of my sheath. All its heavy duty sheath, don't want it coming out. The last thing on the outside, on the front, is the D-ring here. I put D-rings through all of my zipper pulls to keep them from opening. So this little carabiner from ITW helps that to happen. The other purpose it serves is with this piece of paracord that's tied to it with a loop, wherever I take a break at, I can take my pack off, pop this carabiner off, take that loop of paracord, tie it around a tree, and now I can easily hang my backpack from its strap on top here, its little carry strap, hang it from a tree so it's easy to access the gear inside, get into my food, whatever. So that stays on the outside where it's easily accessible. Of course, my Don't Tread on Me patch. Always like a little something to personalize. Okay, on the inside pouch here, you've got a nice little zippered pocket, keep things separated. You do have a large Velcro patch in here. It's not included, but if you were to get one of the holsters that Condor offers or that Maxpedition offers, you could in fact put a concealed carry holster in here as well. Personally, I prefer to carry mine on my hip. This would be my boo-boo kit. So I've got a number of first aid items in here. The upside is that some of the things I have in here, these nail polish remover pads or surgical pads, as well as this adhesive tape remover pad, those are both flammable should I need to use them for starting a fire. Here's my main first aid stuff. Got some earplugs in there. I've got a 4x4, or not a 4x4, it's a 2x2 heavy bleeding package or bandage, roll of tape, a lighter, got some snake bite kit, some dental floss, pair of forceps, pair of EMT shears, and the one thing I'm going to pull out of here though, because most of that is all self-explanatory, Purell Wipes. These things are great, and they're 80% alcohol, so they will light up like crazy and burn good in a fire. This is two-sided Velcro, so it's soft, it's fuzzy on one side, sticky on the other. It can wrap around and stick to itself. It's actually great for, there's 2 pieces in here. What's great about it is it can be used as a field expedient splint to wrap around a couple of sticks. It's a little bit wider than your normal paracord or whatever you might have. If all you have is paracord to use for a splint, then you'll want to wrap maybe duct tape or something else around it. And that'll get you going. Oh, there's also a thing of duct tape in here as well, I think. Should be. If not, I'm going to add one since I don't see it right now. Okay. Then in this pouch here, this is, of course, your MRE toilet paper, space blanket, and then this is a large, like 2 by 2 foot, very soft absorbent paper towel, and I believe there's 2 of them in there. And so again, you've got something to lay out if you're going to eat. You can spread that out and use it like a tablecloth or whatever. And of course, it's paper, it's soft, it's in the bag so it'll be dry, very flammable. This is just something that I carry for myself. I printed it off the National Forest website. In my state, when I'm in the National Forest or the National Park, as long as I have my concealed carry permit with me and I am carrying a firearm concealed, I can do that. So if I'm ever stopped and asked, I have printed out this form from the National Forest Service website, so that if I'm ever stopped by a ranger, I can just show that to them and indicate that yes, I am legitimately carrying my firearm, and legally. Alright, close up this front pouch, and we'll get into the top pouch. Like I said, every time I zip it up, put the carabiner through it to keep it from opening up. Oh, almost forgot. Go out here to the outside, to the straps. You'll see I've got a couple of grim locks here. That is along with this elastic to help control my hydration tube. This is a mount for a small flashlight that I have on my other, that fits on there, and that gives me the ability to, it's from Everready, and once the light's mounted in there, I can actually angle it like this. I'll show that to you when I get the light out. And the light has a number of features that are very helpful that I like. This is my Cold Steel Raja 2. That's a custom-made Kydex sheath that I made for it. When it's on the shoulder, a good snap pops it out, but it's never even remotely come close to falling out. And if you don't know the Raja 2 from Cold Steel, that is a very thick, see the width of that spine, 6-inch folder. The marks you can see on it and the grime, I think you can make out that stain there. That's actually plant-based stain. I use this primarily when I'm on the trail for clearing trail obstacles. It's almost as good as having a small axe with you, and pretty much just about as good as almost nearly any tomahawk I've seen out there. Line it up, give it a good snap, it's locked in, won't go anywhere. Worst case scenario, I do have a piece of paracord on the back which holds the sheath down. If I think it could be an issue, I can untie this paracord and actually tie it around the knife itself. Then I don't have to worry about it going. This is your Collins 4-in-1 thermometer, whistle, compass, and then there's a small magnifying glass down inside here. It's kind of a pain to open. I usually find it easier to catch it with my blade and just pop it out the other side. It's got a little thumb tab, but it's hard to get a hold of. So, and then there's your magnifying glass feature right there. And it's hooked with a little carabiner to my sternum strap. As I mentioned, that's the pocket for the hydration bladder. I wish they would have made the pack just a little bit deeper and moved the hydration bladder to the inside. The strap, the hoses or the tubing comes out through these slots, left or right-handed. I do like that feature. I just wish that it came through to the main pouch, because once you put that bladder in there, it swells this out. When that is swollen out, you can see kind of how round it is like this. That's how it swells out, and it eliminates this air channel. This padding is very thin. That's maybe only an 1/8 or 1/4 inch of padding in there, and it's kind of soft. Comfortable to carry, I'm not going to lie, but with just this little mesh on the outside and that solid piece there, and this solid piece, this mesh down here, I sweat like the dickens when it's hot. because it gives me no ventilation back here whatsoever. I would almost have liked to see them incorporate a small plastic sheet frame of some kind in that pocket and move, like I said, move the hydration bladder to the inside. Same padding on the straps. It's that same 1/4 inch thick with the mesh. Straps are in fact very comfortable. It did have a waist belt, removable waist belt attached down here. Because of the weight load that I carry in this pack, which is usually 15 pounds or less, including the water. The heaviest I've had it so far is 16 pounds and it carried no problem, so I just took the waist belt off. It was interfering with my concealed carry. And it wasn't really doing any good. It's not a supportive belt, it's just there to keep the back of the bottom of the pack from swishing from side to side. It never turned out to be an issue for me, so I just removed it. It has these two very low profile slot pockets on the side. On this pocket, I've got insect repellent. This is 40% DEET. Some Purell hand sanitizer, and spare batteries for all of my lights. That's all I have in that pocket. It fits well. You don't even know it's there. On the opposite side, I have a Streamlight flashlight. I should say an Energizer flashlight, I'm sorry, and a small signal mirror. And that's all I have in that pocket. This light has a number of great features. You can see that orange switch right there. That's a lockout switch. So right now it's when it's in the center, it's locked out. So nothing will work. When you switch it to unlock, then when you hit the tail cap, you get the white light, which you get 3 brightnesses. And then you have 3 switches on the top, here, here, and here. And that gives you, one gives you green in 3 brightnesses, red in 3 brightnesses, and UV in 3 brightnesses. When it's in the red mode, if you hit the tail cap, oops, I'm sorry, when it's in UV mode, maybe this one doesn't. I thought one of them gave me, I thought it gave me flash. Oh well. Oh, when it's in the UV mode, then you hit the tail cap and the UV will flash like that. And it also has a tilt head feature, so you can tilt it using the clip on the back here, clip it on your gear. So say I was lost or waiting for rescue, I could tilt this up, I could clip it to the molly on my pack and have that UV light blinking, or I could have the red light up and on, and it would, walking through the woods, would almost appear as if it were blinking because of going in and out of cover. But for that purpose, I also have another light, the one that goes on my strap, which I'll show you. On this small pocket at the top here, significant quantity of paracord. This is a double braid, or what they call a king cobra braid. This piece alone is 24 inches, and uncoiled, that's I believe about 80 feet thereabouts. So a lot of paracord there. Tube chapstick, don't leave home without it. A lot of uses. These are some little carabiners, what they call figure 9s. I have 4 of them. I use them along with the paracord if I need to for stretching the tarp out, stretching out, like I said, my rain jacket if I need to for a roof. I have a large 55-gallon trash liner in here that I can also stretch out, use those, clip them on whatever I need to hook. They're designed down here. You can clip them to whatever you need to clip them to, stretch the rope out, pull it through this lower hook, pull it taut. You actually wrap it around and bring it back through this side, and that locks the cord down. There's little teeth inside there. I don't know if they're visible. There, yep, there you go. You can see the teeth inside. Those will lock the cord tight. I still prefer to go ahead and tie it off, and they're rated for 50 pounds each. and I've got 4 of them. Of course, don't leave home without a good compass. This is my old Silva Boy Scout compass from the 70s and 80s. So I always carry that with me. And that's in addition to the little compass. Well, actually, that is the main compass, but I got the small compass on here. That's my backup compass. I have my Smith sharpener here. Very useful sharpener. It's a diamond steel rod. You use the wide flat side for sharpening your blade. You can use the round and the round pointed end for sharpening your serrated edges. It's got a groove on this top part right there for sharpening fish hooks. It can also be inserted back into the handle as such. That's how you're going to sharpen your serrated edges, but put together like that, it will also make, as I said in my previous video on my shoulder bag loadout that's in the truck, it can be used as an improvised spear. Also, this was a freebie. I'm not a big energy drink guy, but since it was a freebie from LA Police Gear when I placed an order recently, I went ahead and threw it in the pack. A little 5-hour energy never hurt. Here's that other light that I mentioned. This one uses a single AA battery. The other light uses a 2 AAA batteries. This one also has the orange lockout switch. Gives you a green beacon. Now I mentioned that green beacon because I can take this holder off of here, and with the light inserted, it's got a metal clip. I can clip it to the bill of my hat or somewhere on the top of the pack, and it will make it visible from the air if I'm being looked for if I'm lost. It also has a blue light. It has a red light of 3 brightnesses, and it has white light of 3 brightnesses. And like I said, that can snap on here. And in the white light mode, I can turn the white light on while I'm carrying the pack, and this strap is across my chest. It makes a hands-free trail light to illuminate the trail in front of me if I'm hiking home and I've stayed out too long and it's gotten dark. Okay, this video is getting longer than I wanted, so we'll go ahead and open this up. I pulled this off of my other pack. This is I have a VOD pack. This is the Rainfly, obviously very high visibility. So this will snap over and fit over this pack, and I'll use that if I'm walking out when it's dark, or I'll throw it on if I happen to be having to walk on hike on streets. Some of the hikes I do around here, you wind up on public roads, so I'll hike on that. This is just a little fleece cover that I made, just a little sleeve, and when I put my water bladder in there, it slides in here. It's not necessarily waterproof, but it helps to protect the inside of the pack from sweating of the bladder, because I usually load mine with ice water, and it just helps keep it cooler longer. So it's just a little sleeve. I had a scrap of this fleece cloth left over from something, and that's what I made out of it. I replace all my shoelaces on my boots with paracord, but I go ahead and I throw the original laces back in the pack, so that if I ever do need the paracord out of my boots, I can pull that paracord out, throw these laces back in, and I'm not running around with my boots untied, because I hate that. This is a National Geographic map. It's an extremely detailed map. I have it in the bag, but it is a water resistant map, and it's also tear resistant. It has some sort of made out of some sort of a plastic material or a plasticized paper. I tested it on one corner. It will tear, but it's extremely durable. And this is a very detailed map of several of the trails in my area, which also includes on the map GPS locations, so that if you do get lost or injured or whatever, you can call out your GPS locations on your phone to whoever you're whoever you're dealing with out there, family or whatever. Of course, pair of leather gloves, a little extra warmth if I need them, and of course protection if I'm having to cook something on the fire so I don't get burned, get on a real rough trail. Never go out on the road anywhere hiking without an extra pair of socks. It gets really cold at night and throw the extra pair on if you got to spend the night, or if your socks get wet or whatever. Stainless steel water bottle. Now I do have, you see this blue bottle here, this is from Life Straw. I ordered it, I actually ordered just the Life Straw, but they were out of stock. So I said, well, send me the Life Straw bottle. So the Life Straw fits just like that into the cap. You take and you dip your water bottle into the water, you drop the lid on, lift it, and just drink from it, and it gives you clean, pure water. I do intend on doing a review of the bottle and the straw later. For my purposes, I'm not a fan of plastic bottles just because you can't boil in them safely or easily. And what I found I did not like about this one is that with a little bit of torque, even when it's threaded on correctly and tight, a little bit of torque, the lid pops right off. The amount of torque I'm putting on it is no more than you would get, especially if it was full and you dropped it. That lid would come, just tapping it like that, that lid was half off. So what I did was I put their bottle aside, I took the straw off, and I'm just dropping the straw down in my stainless steel bottle because I figure it's the exact same straw as the regular Life Straw. It just doesn't have the cool label on it, and it doesn't have the cap on this end, and it doesn't have the drinking spout on this end. But I figure worst case scenario, I can dip the water in here, put that in there and drink from it right from that end. I do have a piece of aluminum. I contacted the company. They never got back to me about asking them if I could just get the caps for the cap and the spout for it. They never responded to my email. So I'm not worried about the cap over here. I could fix that with a piece of duct tape. My intent is to, if I can't get a hold of them again, just take a piece of aluminum that I've got, go up to my buddy's shop, get on the lathe, and make a small aluminum spout to fit over that, and then I can carry it with me. And then the stainless steel bottle, of course, can be used for boiling water. Just take the cap off. To go along with that, I made up this device. Just a piece of stainless steel welding rod, but it can be compressed, slid inside, and I can now cut a stick and hang this above my fire. You cut a stick long enough to drape over a rock, and then you cut a little notch in it to keep the bottle from sliding, and then you just suspend it over your fire, getting it as close as possible but not down in the coals, because setting it down in the coals, it will actually take longer to boil than if you can suspend it slightly over the coals where the heat and the flame is actually licking the bottom of the bottle. It will actually boil it faster. Stainless steel, the reason I use that is it's a lot less susceptible to heat distortion, whereas standard carbon steel, once it gets hot, it loses some of its strength. Stainless steel has a much higher heat tolerance, so I go ahead and carry that with me. It takes up no space, no weight, and it just slides down in the pocket inside. And once the water is boiled and then cooled, I can put the top back on and I can drink right out of the bottle. Even if I've used it with the Life Straw, as long as I boil the water in there, it'll sterilize the bottle too, and it's safe to drink from. That's my fire kit. There's my duct tape. I know I had duct tape in here. I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've got in here. This is just some 1 3/4 wide electrical tape, vinyl electrical tape. I find that's very good to use for first aid tape, bandages, whatever, waterproofing stuff. Of course, this is my strike fire, and I've got the little cover for it broke, so I've got it wrapped with a length of duct tape. Additional duct tape I carry on my walking stick. I've got 2 lengths of duct tape actually attached to my walking stick. Of course, matches. These are the waterproof matches, and I've got a striker inside, and that is a waterproof case. These are some fire starters that I made. There's a pack of MRE matches in there in a plastic bag because they're not waterproof, they're humidity proof. What I've got in there is I've got jute twine, which has been saturated in paraffin, and I've got the white cotton pads there, cotton pads, makeup removing pads, which are also saturated in paraffin. And actually what I use is a mix of paraffin, mink oil, and a little bit of lamp oil. They're very flammable. They'll light with the match, but they'll also take a spark and light right up as well. So as with everything in survival, it's all about redundancy. So in the first aid kit I have a lighter, my chapstick, that's flammable. A lot of stuff I have in here is flammable. This little pouch I have, if I don't have access to the fire or I don't have access to my straw, that is bleach. It's well marked. You'll notice I have it wrapped in the blue tape. Between the blue tape and this dark case, you want to protect bleach from sunlight, because when it gets in sunlight, it very quickly loses its strength and potency. You always want to sniff it. I would take and probably switch this out about every 6 months. I actually got another tube like this, and my intent is to replace the liquid bleach that I have in here. I have a well for my house and I have to chlorinate it, so I buy 1-inch granular chlorine tablets. I've taken a couple of those tablets and crushed them down into powder form. I intend on filling one of these tubes with that and probably replacing the liquid bleach with the powder bleach, which will last much longer. Mentioned the lamp oil. I went ahead and carried some with me. If I have to, I can take this lamp oil, pour it on whatever I have, and even if it's a little bit damp, the heat from the burning lamp oil will help dry it out. And then these are some 2-inch square or 3-inch square cotton gun rags, gun cleaning patches, which I have gone ahead and pre-oiled, and there's a little bit of extra oil down on the bottom, and worst case scenario, those are also very flammable, as well as I can clean my knife with it. If I've used my knife to cut wet or green wood, I can wipe it down with those rags, and that'll keep it from rusting. Keeping on with the redundancy, this is just a quick little emergency kit that's in a shrink wrap vacuum pack. I have a wire saw in here. There's a small razor blade in here. There's 2 packages of matches. One set are waterproof. The other set are waterproof, windproof hurricane matches. A couple of packs of the 3 packs of the MRE toilet paper. Some silica packs in there to absorb any moisture that may have been in there. Plus I've got a couple of fishing hooks, some stainless steel braided stainless steel fishing leader, which can be used either for fishing or for trapping. I can make improvised snares using those, and the pliers from the multi-tool there. I can make an improvised traps. But worst case scenario, for some reason I got to ditch the pack, I can grab this, throw it in the cargo pocket, back pocket, front pocket, whatever of my pants, and I have emergency supplies on me in addition to the pack that's usually in my pocket anyway. Because whether I'm in my shorts or my jeans, I made 2 of these up. Quick little emergency kit, little zippered pouch, and it fits right in my cargo pocket, and it has boo-boo kit, cutlery, paracord, you name it. Also, don't leave home without it. Shemagh, don't need to go through it. Everyone knows a million uses for a shemagh. Towel, shelter, blanket, you know, washcloth, pure cotton, so you can strip. Like, what's great about it is you can take these little strings at the bottom, just snip those strings off, and you've got good, as long as it's dry, you've got good tinder for starting your fires with. I carry a hat. This one happens to be the mask style. I figure if I have to spend the night, I would rather have the mask style to help protect my face from the bugs. I've got my 55-gallon heavy-duty drum liner here. On my longer hikes, I actually have a red bag that's 6.5 feet long and can actually be used as an improvised sleeping bag. And then the last but not least, what I have in here is this is a micro fleece zip-up shirt. It's very thin, it's very lightweight, but it has the micro fleece on the inside, the fuzzy side there, and it will actually keep me fairly warm. So if I get, like right now, our nights really aren't getting less than in the 60s. Last night it only got down to 67. A couple of nights ago it got down to 54. And if it were that cold, I would still feel comfortable. I always hike in long pants. I don't like hiking in shorts. Too much chance of getting ticks. We got a lot of ticks around here. Ticks, bug bites, scratches, scrapes, poison ivy, whatever. So I always wear long pants. And worst case scenario with the duct tape I have, if I absolutely need to, I can actually take my pant legs down. Anyway, just to sum it up, overall it's a good pack. I wish it had just a little bit more volume. That's the other issue. Like I said, when you put that water bladder in there and it swells out, it actually takes up volume inside the pack here. So they do give you this extra pocket inside here, so if you wanted to add a second bladder or put the bladder inside, you could, but by doing that you're definitely taking up a lot more room inside. But if you had two bladders, you could certainly put one on the outside, one on the inside. You're going to reduce your gear capacity, but you have that possibility. I do have the intention of, at some point maybe, coming up to the sides on both sides and putting down at the bottom and at the top, probably I'll glue a piece of Kydex across there, drill a hole through it inside and out, and run a couple of Kydex rivets through so I can bring paracord through to tie gear to the outside. Like, I don't always carry, I like to walk with my walking stick, but I like having it with me. So that would be a time when I would want to strap it to the outside. Occasionally I might want to bring my tomahawk or my compact axe, in which case I would again want to probably strap it to the outside versus putting it inside the pack, risking something sharp in there that could blow out the pack. But so far the zippers have all worked good and smooth. They're not waterproof, but they are semi-sealed, water resistant, self-repairing zippers. This pocket also, if you don't know, is lined. Technically it's a sunglass pouch or an electronics pouch. As far as electronics go, it does not have an opening to run a headphone cord through, but you could just bring a zipper over and have the cord come out through the corner if you were listening to your MP3 player or whatever. So, alright, Hardwood Hollow Bushcraft. Thanks for watching. I'm out.